medicine and color are your divine spiritual healers. The medicine I refer to is herbs and spices. The color I refer to are colors of the rainbow. And the music should be worthy of the angels, not this low down, F this and F that, shake your booty Beyonce impersonating a serious artist who's seeking seemingly love filth, but totally successful in the selling of her soft sexual pornography in the guise of hip-hop music. This type of performance is just plain cheap lap dancing with a bigger audience, a worldwide audience. We could surely do without the pop culture of hip-hop, a demeaning form of entertainment shielding a dirty purpose and aim of those who produce and distribute such dirty, sexy music for profit. No, the music of healing is angelic, uplifting, and extremely beautiful to produce, deliver, and visualize by the sender and receiver, the audience, offending no one. Music have been and will always be a vibration of healing and elevation. The scriptures support this proposition in the history of David the psalmist, sang a joyful noise unto the Lord. Music is a universal language of harmony, peace, and unity. Through music, unity of instrument can be composed into an orchestra of sound, like unto a wall of sound, producing a symbol of sound of the many into one musical composition. Sound is the splitting of the atoms. Musical sound is a conscious compilation of divine inspiration. Music have the ability to make one sad or glad. Music can conjure up images of good or bad. Music is a key element to the fundamental cultivation of the human spirit. This is why the wise, wickedly wise, utilize music in this world to create a beat and rhythm of sin, disease, error, and debauchery. It all began with taking off the clothes of the woman in her musical presentation. You don't see men get on stage naked or half naked. So why women if it's all about the music? Remember the historical tale of Nero filling while Rome burned. Surely there's a sign for those who reflect. We, the individual, must rise up beyond our emotions into the mind of proper behavior. This is referred to as morals and ethics. This is the culture of civilization of a civilized people. First, they wear clothes to cover up their nakedness. Then they don't allow music to make them behave like a cobra snake of the Pied Piper in heat. Hence, you have Beyonce, Janet Jackson, Lil' Kim, and any other female or male entertainers who do their immoral act of entertainment in the name of the arts for money, and more money. Never caring what visual effect this will have on the young daughters and granddaughters of the world. This is not some right-wing evangelist rhetoric. This is just plain common sense. We today must make music that which it was divinely composed to function as a healing for man, not a compilation of error, sickness, disease, and division of the human family. Hence, we have the cultural phenomena we refer to as hip-hop, rap, or pop culture. Music and art for the mental and spiritually challenged. Or let me be more clear. Entertainment for idiots, pedophiles, and people just plain poor taste. Not all, but most. Music is always a criteria of judgment and on the civilization who is being weighed in the balance of justice. Music is the outgrowth of that civilization development or the lack thereof. The blues of North America that were initiated from the slave plantations were once considered the only original music of the United States. Certain countries actually thought the song St. Louis Blues by W.C. Handy was the American national anthem. From the blues came jazz and the modern social civil rights era of What's Going On by Marvin Gaye to 10 years later and a regression of aim and purpose to Let's Get It On past the cocaine. Think over this. Mr. W.D. Farrar told some of his 25,000 followers in 1930 to 1935 that one day they would be entertaining Satan, the arch deceiver, in their living room. Little did these poor followers know the onset of television and the soft pornography it transmits into your home daily under the guise of music, art, and entertainment. I'm sorry to say most of our production of art and entertainment is satanic in its nature of violence and music. Music that undressed the world's most precious jewel, the woman. If we listen to the talking heads in society, our scribes and Pharisees, whether television executives, social and political commentators, no one seems to know the origin of the human being bad and violent behavior. Yet they can boldly say in their political analysis, it was a copycat noose hanging at this school or that place, but it's not a copycat visual of out-of-control young girls, whether Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, or Britney Spears, drinking and driving, parading around as savages, portraying a culture of no discipline whatsoever, regardless of their social economic status. Nakedness is just savage. Money do not buy you eminence, culture, or good taste. It just make you an idiot with money and a very poor taste and culture. Then you are parading by the celebrity shows in the public for the world to see your disease and sickness as a badge of hip-hop or cultural honor. What a sad state of the union of behavioral arts and culture. We know that financial wealth do not give a person morals, ethics, or good behavior. Being an entertainer, whether singing, dancing, or reality television, or internet, do not make you a god or goddess, even to a role model. What it do make you is a cultural idiot for the masses to utilize and study you as a specimen of what not to do in public. Your private affairs should remain private. God revealed to the prophet David, blessed is the man, woman, who the sin the Lord does hide it. Think over that. And then there are the weak who imitate the wicked and ignorant based upon their accumulation of wealth and fame. Your copycat fools of error. The artists and executives must work together in order for the presentation to be angelic and not satanic. However, this is not the case for most music executives, including the second stringers of Jazz-Z and Russell Simmons, using good names to hide behind weak and satanic agendas. You can take it or let it alone. We know for a fact that Halle Berry won her Oscar, not for her acting, but for her nakedness in the acting, or more or less the sexual scenes. It is obvious that music executives have an agenda of art that involve exploitation of racial stereotype to propagate racial stereotype that the artists participate in based on their desire, the artists, for fame and money. It is absolutely a pimping and whore relationship. You can take it or start producing better material for all the children of the world. As a trying constantly to be righteous so-called American Negro, I am totally offended that our young artists must shed their clothes in thinking this is an art form to violently shake your backside as some kind of entertainment. It is just plain savage and have no redeeming qualities other than to make you look savage to show to the world. It is truly Satan music and dance leading the people to a day when you will, as the scriptures say in Malachi, be burnt in the oven of iniquity. Behold, the day come when you will be burnt in the oven. As it is written, so will it be. The prophet do not lie, and I'm sure they had foreknowledge of global warming. Music is a healing for man and mankind. Mankind is kind of like the original man, made in his image and likeness. However, mankind have proven to be the skunk of the planet Earth. However, music is still a healing for both. What about color? We in the music industry say it all about the Benjamins, meaning the only color is green. Well, let's examine this for a moment in the spirit of truth and history. Caucasian people who dominate the music industry, the making and distribution in America, and black people who participate in this business as so-called executives but no distribution power, are very much at the tip of exploitation. The image of black degradation and debauchery in music videos as the world view of African American. Big booty, gangster rapper with one foot in the grave and the other foot in ignorance. My grandmother used to always say, a fool and his money will soon part. Add it up, Michael Vick, Michael Tyson, and coming soon, Michael Jackson, or maybe Michael Jordan. Prior to 1865, if you had 1/10 of 1% of black blood in you, in your material musical body, not spiritual body, but your musical material body, that by and of itself rendered you a second-class non-citizen, only because of your dark skin color. You, the dark-skinned descendant of slave person, could not hide behind religion if you were Jewish and black discrimination. Mormon, Catholic, or Protestant, Episcopalian discriminated against. If you were dark-skinned, born in North America in the East, South, North, or West, you was a slave unless you had papers saying you were free, and for the most part escaped across the Macon-Dixie line. So color from 1492 to 1865 was the absolutely criteria of judgment in the land of the free and the home of the brave for over 300 years of servitude slavery. After 1865, even though the laws changed in relationship to color, attitude did not. And when they did attitude change, it was very slow, a very slow process even until today. This color race-based ideology is worldwide, likened to the New Orleans brown paper bag test. However, social scientists in mental hospitals, prisons, and classrooms know the behavioral pattern of people as a result of color stimulation. This color brings out this behavior result. Color and its discriminating powers is truly a well-defined science in many fields of Western civilization in relationship to behavior overt and covert. As music, color can tame the savage beast. Abraham, the first prophet of Jews, Christians, and Muslims, had knowledge of the coming of God, choosing you and me today, not yesterday. Abraham prayed and Ishmael prayed. Both father and son saw in the distant future of us that we would need a teacher. He said, raise up among them, O Lord, a teacher from among themselves, and teach him the book, the Bible, and the wisdom, the Holy Quran. for they do not understand it. They are only using guesses. This is in reference to our world right now, not 4,000 or 2,000 years ago, but right now. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad asked the Christian African American reverends, and this can also apply to our reverend hip-hop artists, how many times, Reverend or Mr. Rapper, have we heard you say, I teach or say the way I see it? We cannot take God's word and teach it as we see it, or sing or rap it as we see it. We have to teach it, sing it, or rap it as he give it, and the way he want us to see it, not the way we want to see it. There go all the F words, N word, B word, and H word. By nature, so teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, by nature, we cannot strip a woman and look at her before our face without having a different thought. By nature, we are made like that. You must preach, sing, or rap to the savage to hide his or her nakedness. This is the first preaching, teaching, singing, or rapping we give to a savage. African American in all our glory, and their plantation teachers in all their glory in North America. We, by the standard of peace and justice, according to our own criminal statistics in comparison to Western Europe, are classified by the civilized world as behavioral savages. Make no mistake, from our cowboy diplomacy to our shake your booty Beyonce, this is the picture. The proof of what we have become at the melting pot of the world is in the female and her relationship with the male and other female. By nature, our first father, God, Allah, made her the woman for that purpose of helpmate and pleasing to look at. After making her, he wanted you to know that you must not take her and display her in such an indecent manner, Mr. Hip Hop, because you will spoil all your men and yourself too. This have already happened to the extent that future generations of people may have to be born by test tube instead of the natural male-female family relationship. You have bad, no good, good, and what is best. Apply it to music, apply it to medicine, then apply it to human relationship, which produces the color of love. The color of love is wanting for others what you want for yourself. No father of sound mind want their daughters to imitate lap dancers, imitating artists of music or acting. Do the acquisition of money make the savage behavior acceptable? To the morally bankrupt, it most certainly seems as if it does. This conversation is to point out as a meaning of audience acceptance of things that must be demanded of those who deliver our art form. Then if you like this low-life version, well, you are in heaven while you live. However, it's a heaven of disgust to those who vibrate on a moral and ethical plane. I hope our daughters of all colors begin to make music that is angelic and a healing for this violent society where love is truly hard to find, not sexual love, but nature-created love, to want for others what you want for yourself. Music, color, and medicine are your three primary healing powers in this transitory world. Food, what you eat, how you prepare it, and when and how often you digest it is your main form of medicine, along with herbs and spices and brews. Synthetic medicine is just that, synthetic, artificial, and do more harm than good for the most part. Prevention is your best medicine, and prevention begins with what you eat and drink and think. Soon, I would like to examine more of the powers of color and medicine on the human spirit, but I will close with the examination of our contemporary sound. The artists have a responsibility to create a sound and visual that is ethical and morally pleasing, message oriented and entertaining. If a record executive reaches in the poverty of urban America, he can bring out an individual willing to sing, dance, and perform at any trained monkey. That's right, I said trained monkey. However, when we have highly skilled, well-paid to this day artists still producing, creating vulgar, lyric, dance, and visual that is worthy of the trash barrel, then we must begin to question the artist and producer aim and purpose in this type of presentation, especially when you are already financially secure to create a high degree of artistic value for your audience. In one translation of the Holy Quran, 43rd chapter, entitled Gold Adornment, 44th verse, it says, "And truly this Quran is a source of rising to eminence for you and for your people, and you shall all be asked about whether you did the duty you owe to it." Well, people, this is the day of asking, are you doing the duty you owe your creator? For those who in the entertainment industry who don't believe in a creator or higher power, you are on your own. And for those who do, well, this is the question you must ask yourself. And the only answer is a better visual of your art, a better, far less vulgar sound of your lyric and song. Please, let's stop coming on stage at this award or that award and thanking Jesus for allowing you to shake your booty or dance around buck naked, parading your God-given body in plain view for the world to adore and worship or lust after, especially when your singing, dancing, or acting is questionable. Who am I to ask these so-called great artists to do better? I am your audience. I am a teacher of righteousness, not a teacher of perfection, but a teacher of what is timely and righteous to begin the healing of a diseased people in gross error of right thinking and behavior. The original translation of the word sin is error. You, the artists, producers, distributors, are a major contributor to gross error, violence, and the abuse of the woman in the naked abuse of the art of soft pornography that is being passed to the public as music videos and theater. Our young people truly need better, and those who are financially secure need to do better. Why should Paris Hilton, Beyonce Knowles, Janet Jackson, Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan parade around in public, half dressed, half naked, and we the public don't rebuke these acts of savagery and uncivilized behavior? I would like to close, and to everyone named I have used in this discussion, please understand, as a public figure, I have a right to publicly discuss your uncivilized behavior and how it affects others. I will close this with who are of these I have mentioned bearing witness to the greatness and righteousness of his majesty. In the politics of Jesus, rediscovering the true revolutionary nature of the teaching of Jesus and how they have been corrupted by Obey Hendrick Jr., published by Doubleday, a division of Random House. On page 93, it says, in a real sense, Jesus was the ultimate activist in that he dedicated his entire being to struggling to bring the world in line with the vision of love, liberation, and justice given to him by God. Yet his activism was born of his spirituality. Jesus defined spirituality holistically, at both vertical, love and service to God, and horizontally, love, and service to humanity. In other words, for him, true spirituality consisted of an active commitment to health, wholeness, and justice for all God's children, as the highest expression of our love for God. Jesus articulated his holistic conception of spirituality in this way: you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. In practical terms, this means that we who claim to know God become aware that any of God's children are caught in a web of oppression of mind, body, or spirit. It is our divine duty to struggle for the liberation and deliverance of our suffering neighbors in the same way that we will struggle for our own. The only authentic evidence of spirituality is that we have personally sought and struggled for the health, wholeness, and freedom of others. What are the points? We need better music to heal and uplift humanity. It is up to the artist to create a sound of words and rhythm that feed the best of human spirit. Those with the finance to produce, distribute to the public need to do better in not financing filth and disease of the spirit in song and dance. We must eliminate all satanic vibrations in our music and art. Finally, do we really want a community of lap dancers?